I'm Natalia Bonner. Happy Monday. Okay, I'm excited to share this little video with you today, hopefully to inspire each of you on your own machine quilting journey. So, while I'm stitching out this fun little border sashing type idea with you here today, somebody's going to ask, what are you quilting on? And guess what? I'm super excited to tell you. I am quilting on my panel for Let's Stitch a Year of Stars, starting January 1st, 2021. The first of every single month, I am going to be sharing a step-by-step video tutorial with you, teaching you how to quilt a year of stars. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to share this whole year-long journey with each of you. Now, we do have some fun notions that you may want to pick up and use if you are stitching along with me. We have a fun calendar, and we also have some really cool workbooks. These products are available for purchase over on our website.com. Also, the panel that I am going to be quilting on here today, this is a custom panel that is designed specifically for this Year of Stars stitch along. And it is available if you're interested in stitching along and using the same panel as me through honestfabrics.com. Alrighty friends, let's get stitching. To stitch out this fun block design, I'll start out using my mini 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler, and I'm going to be stitching point to point. So these two blocks here are evenly divided into thirds, so I didn't actually have to go through and do any marking. But if your block is not evenly divided into thirds, like mine is here, this is a 12-inch block, then you will want to go through and mark an increment every 4 inches. From there, I started quilting at the bottom and stitched point to each of those points. When I got up to the top, then I stitched across the top, a straight line over to the opposite block, and then from there repeated the process down to the bottom. At the bottom, then I'll again stitch that straight line. However, this time I'm going to add an echo to the outside of each of those scallops. So I'm holding my mini 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler, so the side of the ruler is right on top of my previous stitch line, and then from there I'll stitch those echoes all the way up to the top. When I get all the way up to the top, I'll repeat that process coming right back down. You will see that my lines, my echo lines, are going to cross over each other. I like that. I actually think it creates a little tiny bit of extra interest. So from there, after I've added those echoes, then I'm going to start filling in those little diamonds that I've created. I guess down at the bottom, they're kind of like a triangle, and then in the center is kind of a curved diamond. I'm going to fill those in with some fun, simple, back and forth matchstick quilted lines. So the reason I'm quilting the matchstick lines is because they're creating texture. The texture that I'm creating between the kind of echo designs and the open spaces. By filling in those open spaces, it does create just a cool element of texture there. So that's why I like to add extra quilting in places like that. Once I filled in the first one, then I'll travel up my previous stitch line to the next one where I'll continue filling in. So as you can see, I do use the side of my mini 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler to help keep my lines as straight and as close together as possible, but I'm not really using it for any actual measuring. So that's how I do it between the blocks. But what about the long sashing in between the blocks? Well, I'm going to start out the same way, stitching those point to point curves. I'm still looking at this as though it's block units though. So once I stitch all the way across, then I'm going to create actually a little cornerstone block. That cornerstone block, you can see I'll stitch out. So if you've got one piece there, you'll just stitch in the ditch around it. Once I've done that, now I'm going to add an echo stitch coming right back to where I started. So, like we did on the previous echo stitches, you're going to hold your mini machine quilting ruler so that the curved part of the ruler is right on top of your previous stitch, and then add that curve. Then from there, I'm going to repeat the process, stitching across the top block. Now this is a point, here I am still using the mini 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler, but you may find it just a little bit easier to use the mini inside out machine quilting ruler for that first pass. Then when you come back through adding the echo, you may want to switch back like I'm doing here and use the mini 4-in-1. From there, now I'm going to start filling in again those little spaces with those fun back and forth straight matchstick lines. So do notice that as I stitched them between the blocks, I was stitching the lines going horizontal. Now here I'm stitching them going vertical. I'll continue stitching those little matchstick lines until I have stitched all the way over, filling in until I get to that cornerstone block. Now, when I get to that cornerstone block, I'm going to switch and use the tiny little curve on the end of the mini 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler and stitch point-to-point curves on that small block. You can use either of those tiny little curves because they are the exact same size. Once I've completed that little point-to-point curve in the corner in the sashing stone, then from there I will continue on stitching that same pattern through the next section. So anytime I stitch a block design or a sashing design like this, I do like to break them up into small units and work from there. It's that instant gratification, but sometimes it just breaks it up enough that I can continue on and create beautiful designs. I hope you all found just a little bit of inspiration from today's fun video. I would love to have you join me in Let's Stitch a Year of Stars. Have a great day, everybody.